And that leads to my question about the Nation of Sanity. What is your ultimate goal?
Well, I mean, as ambitious as it might sound, my ultimate goal is, what it says on the tin. It is to establish the non-aggression principle as the law through a universal peace agreement. Because even though that might sound ridiculously ambitious, because I'm basically talking about overthrowing ruling governments and replacing it with this kind of universal freedom that the human race has never had in all of recorded history. So, touch ambitious, if you like. But two things, I suppose, drive me against that kind of, it'll never happen kind of attitude is one, it needs to, because if it doesn't, the alternative is not good. The alternative is just increased fascism, which is something that we're experiencing at a higher level at the moment. But, we know what happens when governments go extra bad, and they're bad enough as it is, and it's not going to get better, and they're not going to overthrow themselves. We need to actually, we need to do this. As ambitious as it may be, we need to do this. But the other thing about it is it's kind of ambitious, but at the same time, it's long overdue. And it's not that ambitious in another sense, because although there's a lot of reasons why it could never happen, and obviously, as we say, the governments aren't going to just want it to happen or allow it or facilitate it in any kind of way. But the fact of the matter is this is a universal moral principle. This does cut through so many divisions that currently keep us apart, the whole divide and rule thing. You know what I mean? It does cut through all of that. And I think that if it breaks through into the mainstream conversation, it could become unstoppable because, it's an idea, so killing one of us won't help at that point once the idea is out there. And and the reason why I say it's unstoppable is because, and again, this is something I really want people to think about and obviously challenge us on, with questions and scrutiny, is because when you actually go through the logic of this, my assertions, even though they're kind of bold, they are actually undeniable. When I say that this, for example, I say that this is the only way we can have equal rights. So anybody listening to this who seriously wants to live in a free society where we have truly equal rights, step back and think about what I'm saying. I'm saying this is the only way. Now, that's a bold claim. I'm not saying it to be provocative. I'm saying it because it's true. Because if you think about it, the only right that we can all have in 100% equal measure is the right over our own selves. That's the only thing we can all have equally. And the only way we all have that right equally is under the non-aggression principle law, because that's basically what the non-aggression principle is. It's basically saying everyone has right over themselves and we're not allowed to violate that concept by aggressing against each other. So, and I make other claims, for example, about, like the logical process of starting with self-ownership. Like when I say to people, this is built on the concept of self-ownership, and I explain what that is, I never come across anybody that disputes that. Everyone agrees with the idea that everyone should have right over themselves. Now, my point is okay, well, think about that concept. Think about what you're saying there. We all have right over ourselves. If we all have right over ourselves, then the non-aggression principle is objectively true based on that concept, because if I have right over myself and only myself, I don't have right to aggress against you. So that's self-evident from that concept. What's also self-evident from that concept is that this is how we define crime, because obviously if I violate that concept, then I'm violating that morality. And obviously, and the other thing that's true about it is the only law that we can justifiably enforce would be the non-aggression principle, because by definition, it's purely defensive. Like if I was to impose another law, for example, a drug prohibition, then I have to initiate or threaten to initiate force against you when you're not violating anybody else. Whereas if I make that same threat against you with regards to rape, murder, theft, and all the things we know really are crimes, I'm not violating your freedom anymore in any way. Someone says to you, hey, you're not allowed to rape. Okay, well, your freedom doesn't include the right to rape. You understand that. So you don't care what threat of force is being attached to that crime, because you're not going to commit that crime and you understand that it is a crime. And the thing is, we're not understanding that it's a crime because the people in charge say so, or because a democratic majority say so. We're understanding that these things are a crime based on this simple concept that we all own ourselves. If we agree with the concept, then we agree with everything that follows on from that. So everything that I lay out here is actually undeniable. And I want people to scrutinize this and challenge this, because when they do that, that's when they find that out. And I hope I don't come across as too arrogant there, because as I say, if people think I'm wrong, I want people to come and tell me that I'm wrong, because I'm quite certain that I'm not.
Well, Matt, you got me on board, man. I think the way you explained it and described it intrigued a few people. So you folks out there, go to Matt's channel, check him out, check his videos out, go to his website. He got many explanations down from 1 to 23. And I've been on his website, and I've seen the whole host of information that you can apply daily to your life to understand more about the Nation of Sanity, jump on board, support. And I think the goal is, like Matt said, is to get everybody on board so we can apply the non-aggression principle.